time. We're going to move on to our very first tech team presentation of today. This is going to be on the topic of smart packaging, and the challenge title is Data-Driven Packaging Process for Best Fit Repack and Bundle Products, right? That's quite a lot to unfold there. It's going to be a tech team between a presenter from ARTC as well as a presenter from MIRXES, one of their partner companies. I'd like to invite, first of all, Claire from ARTC to talk about this challenge. Claire, are you ready?
Yeah, hi, Mr. Billy. Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, thanks for giving an introduction. So I'm actually Claire from ARTC. Yeah, one of the organizers for this ASI Advanced Manufacturing Start Challenge 2022. Yeah, it's a bit lengthy over here. But today, on behalf of the problem statement owners, namely MIRXES as well as P&G, I'll be giving a general sharing on the problem statement on a topic that is very, very familiar with us and common to our day-to-day life, which is on the data-driven packaging process for best fit, repack, and bundle products. Are you guys sharing the slides?
Claire, I only have one of them. I think your side, maybe you want to share.
No problem. Let me share my slides. Okay. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, Claire, we can see. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So today, just to give you a background on the problem statement. So in the packaging industry, right, packaging and repacking and bundling of products is actually a very important process to optimize for companies who are seeking an advantage from their supply chain. And this is actually especially important in this current climate where COVID actually disrupt the supply chain itself. And besides that, there is actually a paradigm shift from like the consumer demand looking for more customization, hyper-customization products from distributors, wholesalers, and customers. And besides that, there is also a rising shift from online delivery to now delivery. And there is a strong momentum from manufacturing industry, right, to digitalize their supply chain for smarter data-driven packaging that makes more sense to get today. However, what we are facing now that most of the kitting and the packaging, right, it's actually done manually. Yeah. So what do this imply, right? So here are the actually challenges faced by the current repack and bundle process that has been done manually. So first of all is the high margin of error. So currently there is a high margin of error of around 5% in the process of repacking into smaller denominations, wrapping and labeling the products with the right packaging. And this is actually a very laborious process because every process have to be manually done, manually wrapped, manually cut itself. Yeah, and on top of that, right, there is actually a low throughput and low operational efficiency. So why is it so? Because due to the increased demand for hyper-customization product, right, this has actually increased the complexity and the time taken for packing bundled goods. So for example, especially during promotional period like Christmas, right, when there is a free gift that is coming in, right, each of these workers need to be able to know that they have to actually bundle. Maybe let's say I have apple, but the free gift is now like orange. I need to be able to bundle them in the correct format. So this actually has led to the situation whereby there is a lot of complexity and a lot of different kind of permutation in terms of the product to be packed itself. And on top of that, right, after packing, there is actually a manual process to do a quality check as well as a quality assurance of the packaged product. So all of this actually reduces the throughput as well as the efficiency of operators to work on it. Yeah, and of course, the last thing that is being faced, right, is actually the safety risk, because a lot of these workers, right, there is a potential for them to face risk in terms of knife where often or not, right, all this cutting process is actually done in dim warehouse environment with a very short turnover time crunch. So that is the three areas that is currently faced by the current manual packaging process. So which is why today we are looking for startups to provide solutions for this problem statement, how can we intelligently perform order picking and packaging in a smart and efficient manner for better efficiency and accuracy? So for us, right, we are looking for startups who are able to provide a physical working prototype that is able to do this bundling process and kitting process while fulfilling these four requirements. So first of all is on the automated quality assurance and quality control process itself. So what do I mean is that you must be able to provide, allow the owner to actually keep track of the number of bundles or kits produced per packaging cycle and tally with the initial orders to ensure that each of these repackaged bundle is correctly packed. And that you guys are, and we are looking also for a solution where you are able to propose appropriate tallying methods such as having count verification features. On top of that, we are also looking for solutions that will be able to track and recommend type of packaging materials. So the solution must be able to track the usage and consumption of packaging materials used, as well as forecast the volume of packaging material required per promotional season based on historical data. So let's say if during Chinese New Year and coming out Christmas itself, if you guys are able to show some insights, that would be the best thing for us. Yeah. And in the third area that we are looking at is actually integrated as smart packaging management system itself. So for this, right, we are looking for a solution that is able to allow for easy selection of preloaded SKUs to be formed into bundles. And then thereafter, the solution must be able to recommend bundling and packaging options that optimizes the time and packaging materials required based on the preloaded characteristic of SKUs. And lastly, on the integration with other in-house systems and further upgrades. So we are looking to look for a solution that is able to future-proof the solution by having the ability to be developed such that it can actually have this future integration in mind, such as like a warehouse management system and other manufacturing system and modules within a smart factory. Yeah. So with that, right, here are actually the four requirements that we are looking out for. So what we are looking for is staff who are able to provide a working physical automated prototype that is able to come with these four additional features. Yeah. So with that, right, may I invite Jeremiah from MIRXES, one of our problem owners, to give an introduction of his company. Hi, Jeremiah.
I think if you
I think
I am muted. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Thanks for the introduction and thanks for having me on this session here. So I have a deck of slides. Can I share my slides?
Yes, please. Yes, please go ahead and share the slide. I will pause my sharing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now. Just give me a second.
Yeah, just to give an introduction, MIRXES is actually a biotech company. So we here today we have Jeremiah, who is a VP in MIRXES itself. So very happy to have Jeremiah with us to give a sharing about his company. So I think this will give a good idea of the background of like the case study of this solution would work for.
Absolutely. Now just let me overcome my technical difficulties. Yes, there you go. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, Jeremiah, they look great. Yeah.
All right. Thanks. So thanks for the introduction. I think before I introduce the company, I like to say that the problem statement, even though if you look at it, it does look very FMCG in nature. It does resonate a lot with the biotech company, and you will soon come to understand why. MIRXES, as what Claire mentioned, indeed is a biotech company, and we are focused on delivering solutions. And when we talk about solutions, they come from an amalgamation of tests, products, so on and so forth, right? And so before I go into a little bit more detail, let me introduce you to MIRXES. Our name is pretty unique. MIRXES is because MIR represents the biomarkers, which are microRNA that we are known for. We are the global leader in these disease diagnostics based on microRNA technology today. Now, of course, XE, which actually talks about expression, we basically talk about powered by industry-leading technology that sensitively measures microRNA. And because we are very, very proudly a Singapore company. We have an S at the back, and that's how the MIRXES name was formed. I'm sure a lot of you didn't know what does MIRXES mean before today. So I thought that would be a very good introduction. But of course, now going into a little bit more detail, at a glance, we are considered as a global leader in microRNA, even though we are a local company. We do our detection through qPCR platform technologies today, and we are expanding across that technology platform. I'm sure everyone on this call is very familiar with qPCR given the whole COVID-19 pandemic. And so, this is something that's pretty close to our hearts since 2019, 2020, but qPCR technology has been around for a very long time. We have built very strong pipeline in oncology, infectious diseases, and cardiovascular diseases. In fact, we already have a flagship product called GastroClear that's microRNA technology that can predict the risk of cancer and save lives. In fact, our technology has saved multiple lives in Singapore itself and around the world as well. Excuse me. And because MIRXES is a solutions company, we believe in developing end-to-end capabilities for one very simple reason. We want to make sure that we introduce technology that's affordable. And that's something that the co-founders themselves decided right at the start when the team was really just 2 to 3 people as compared to the 200-300 people that we are today. The reality is that how can you put science in the market when people can't afford it? And the only way to do it is to build our capability. And that is why we are one of the very few startups at that point in time that decided to invest in manufacturing rather than outsource, because you have the flexibility to play with the types of products you put through, a quicker turnaround time, and you can control the quality directly as well. Of course, on the more financial part of things, we have a total of $140 million raised. I think we are very proud of that. I think the highest raised ever for a biotechnology company in Singapore. So our mission really is to save and improve lives through actionable and personalized diagnosis across the care continuum through early detection, right? And basically, for MIRXES, although we are headquartered in Singapore, excuse me, very bad morning. We have presence all around the world. We do have offices in the US, in China, and Japan, and we are building offices in Europe and distribution centers around the world as well as we speak. So as you can see, we had a very long history starting from 2002. MIRXES didn't just happen based on the company's incorporation, but it was a technology proof of concept that was proven back in 2002, and it got incubated all the way to the success that we see in MIRXES today. So it was a long time coming. Some of our careers haven't even started yet at that point in time in 2002. And of course, the core capabilities, which now brings us more closer to the subject at hand, is to discover, develop, and diagnose. And for my role in the company, I sit right smack in the middle of develop. And so my role in the company is to help the company to produce products. And these products come in different forms. It's microRNA, and recently with our COVID work that we do, we were looking at RNA work, and you start to realize one thing. Having good chemistry, manufacturing, and all this is one issue that we needed to solve. And coming through when you're looking at scale, you're starting to look at different types of pack sizes, the complexities of the various types of reagents that go into the boxes. And so when ARTC started to reach out to me and say, hey, do you think you could align with some of the problem statements that our MNCs or other partners are looking at? And I picked this packaging one because really, you start to realize that it doesn't matter which industry you're from, you can actually link problems in a very simple continuum. So P&G, which is, working on one sector, and MIRXES, a totally different company, actually have very similar problems, and we could benefit from this problem statement as well. And the reason is because of this. If you were to look at this very carefully, ignore the words, look at the pictures. You see the picture on the left, it's big tubes and small tubes in the box. You see the picture in the middle, it's a round cylinder that has reagents inside. And then you see the one on the right, it has a lot of small colored tubes in a different size box. It really represents the FMCG's challenge as well. You look at the fact that you are mixing and kitting different things in parallel. And honestly, let's be very clear about one thing. Setting up manufacturing in Singapore for a business is challenging. Why? Now, it's always understood that it is extremely high cost, isn't it? So what we're always trying to do is to lower the cost. And in order to lower the cost, you need to promote efficiency. And so the problem statement resonates very strongly with me, because what we are looking at in terms of the problem statement is going to allow me to flexibly kit many things at one go and in a quick turnaround time with a high level of quality, as explained by Claire. So if you were to think about it even deeper, you could deploy this technology across multi-industries. It's not just biotech and FMCG. You start to find that, hey, even the food industry may benefit from the problem statement and the solution to that problem statement. So I'm going to skip the science and all this because this is not exactly related, but I just wanted to show you guys that the impact of this problem statement that it would have for at least MIRXES, it is not just going to go into manufacturing, it has direct impact to the business units that I'm supporting. And these are in the form of early cancer detection to save life, precision oncology to offer more types of tests to detect a multitude type of cancers in what's happening in the world today, biopharma and life sciences to aid researchers to help them to develop products to save lives. And of course, that's something that's more close to our hearts recently, infectious diseases, whereby we can diagnose and quickly titrate the concentration of viral loads in the case of COVID-19 as well. So if you were to see, it's not something that's just as basic as solving packaging solutions. It has a far and long impact as well. So yeah, that's the end of my presentation, and I hope you guys see the value that it would bring to MIRXES, and I'm happy to entertain any questions if you guys have any.
All right, thank you very much, Jeremiah. Together with Claire, I'm going to keep you guys on for the Q&A panel right now for this very first challenge on smart packaging. I'm going to open up to the floor for questions. So let me just check the Q&A box, the magic box, and yes, we have one general question from the floor. I don't know whether we should take it for this particular problem, or we can just maybe invite Dr. Andy to look at this question. This question is from E.T. Teng, and he says, with ARTC's core technology teams and talents, right, why do you need OIP for the solution? That is an excellent question, Mr. E.T. Teng. Andy, would you like to say something about this?
I would like to say that in today's world, we cannot do everything ourselves. So I think working together, especially cross, I would say cross agencies, cross sectorial, is very important. That's why we were trying to leverage on what OIP can offer. They have a very good network capabilities that they have built, especially under IMDA. Is almost a lot of digital stuff. We are more in terms of manufacturing, advanced manufacturing. So we want to see how to marry each other to say that, okay, how can we provide support each other in terms of, I might be able to provide some solutions to them. They might be able to create some solution for us in terms of digital as well. So I think in today's world, I would say that, yeah, what we are looking at is time to market. It's not about doing things myself in the sense. Hope that answered that question. Thanks.
Hey, thank you very much, Andy. A very excellent answer. And basically, it's all about the synergies between OIP and ARTC as well, right? So okay, E.T. Teng has another question. I think I'd like to take this as well. If our solution needs hardware such as IoT sensors, right, is ARTC able to provide? What do you say, Andy or Claire?
I would like to say is that we normally look at your problem statement. It's not just on a component level in the sense, because we look at component level, is it commercially available? If not, are you looking into some almost ready to go technologies, and what is your spec? And with that, I would say that apart from ARTC, I would say that Institute of Microelectronics under A-Star, they are building smart sensors, all these things that you can probably explore. That's why I think A-Star do have a lot of capabilities. It's just that I think we undersell ourselves in a sense. Thanks.
Okay, that's a cool answer. So basically, A-Star does have a lot of technology on offer. So maybe if your proposal, if your proposal is unique enough, right, you can tap on A-Star's expertise in other areas as well, right, including sensors and so on. Great. Okay. Well, a very powerful question from Anonymous right now, and I think this is probably for Jeremiah as well as for P&G. But I guess P&G is not here today, so we just arrow this at Jeremiah. What is the warehouse management system you are currently using? Is this something you can share, Jeremiah?
Oh, of course, and thank you, Anonymous, for that question. The warehouse management system we use from the start is actually based in SAP. That's where we run our inventory control, our MRP systems inside. MIRXES is currently looking at the possibility of migrating out of it into a standalone warehouse management system because we have invested into some automation called a lean lift. I think Andy and team, they know what I'm talking about. I've been working very closely with the ARTC team. And so when you buy some automations, they do actually provide some softwares, and with good APIs, you can actually have a more robust or dynamic system. So the short answer is yes, I'm using SAP, but I'm right smack in the middle of analyzing if I could get a better warehouse management system as well. And then just to drag that answer on a little bit more, I am working with ARTC to come up with some work packages, and that looks exactly at what we're trying to do with our inventory management as well. So currently, yes, SAP, we're looking to move to something a little bit more dynamic than that. I hope that answers the question.
Okay, thank you, Jeremiah. So it looks like there's opportunity, right, for the tech solvers, right, to propose something new for you as well, right, in terms of the warehouse management system.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
You're open
I
to that,
think
right?
that there are many angles that we can look at in terms of packaging. Packaging is just the physical action, right? But the inventory manipulation, control, and segregation, these are things that are part and parcel of packaging anyway. So I think all those kind of solutions are very much welcome as well. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Jeremiah. And I believe our tech solver community has the expertise in this realms as well. Okay, great. Another question, from Jose, a regular attendee. Thank you, Jose. Your question is something very, well, I believe it's very, very technical and very medical as well. Jose says, do you have identification of target antigen in case of inflammation by protein array techniques?
Okay,
I have no idea what language that is, but yeah, Jeremiah, please take it.
Fortunately, I can take that question.
Oh, that's cool.
So the straight answer is no, Jose. I just wanted to explain to you that MIRXES focused a lot on the microRNA technology, and microRNA technologies are really a subset of your DNA structure, and these are floating molecules. And so when we set up the manufacturing plant and we did our R&D basis at the start for our flagship products, we focused on the detection method, which is qPCR, very similar to what COVID-19 is being detected on today. Array technologies is something that our R&D team is exploring. And one of the reasons why I'm looking at this problem statement, again, trying to pull it back to the problem statement and the solutions that we get, is because MIRXES is on that journey to create differentiating type of products, which will affect the packaging anyway at the end of the day. So because of that, yes, we are looking into array technologies, even sequencing. And that was how Omicron was found out over the last couple of weeks. It was through sequencing, right? And so we have a lot of powerful technologies that MIRXES is willing to take in to harness, having direct impact on the type of products that we have. Yeah, so I hope that answers the question.
Thank you very much, Jeremiah. I hope Jose has satisfied the answer. Jose, if not, you can just feel free to follow up with other questions. In the meantime, let's work to one more from ET. I think ET is very, very enthusiastic about this challenge. And he says, what is the main key factor on selecting the finalist prototype? Company profile, cost, innovative idea, others like talent discovery. May I invite ARTC and Jeremiah to sort of answer this question from ET?
Jeremiah, you go first.
No, I don't want to put pressure on anyone. But I think at the end of the day, we are not looking for something that is the mother of all, solving the mother of all problems. You know, we are looking at things whereby like companies like us have been doing this for so long and where the blind spots are. So for me, what I look at is the level of innovation that I probably do not have yet today. I think that's something that I would like to celebrate. What amount of innovation we can put on the table. And I think the next important criteria for me is translation. So you have an idea, right? Can it be translated, and does that actually become usable in an industry? Because let's be honest, I joined this because if there is something out there, I would like to use the solution yesterday, you know? So that's one thing that I think I'll be looking up together with the team, like, you know, how usable it is. And I don't want to put myself in front as a judge or a panelist, but I would like to also go through this journey to even share, you know, and say that, hey, maybe we could develop it this way as well. So yes, that's what I consider about, you know, how translatable that would be. Andy, over to you.
Thanks. I think in a general quick answer is that ARTC wants to be customer centric. So if this is the problem statement of the customer has the decision to make, to say that how they want to use it and how they qualify it, apart from our technical expertise that comes into it. But ultimately, it's still the solution that you're going to create. Hope that answers your question.
Okay, thank you, Jeremiah and Andy. A great tag team answer if I ever saw one. This is great. Okay, we're gonna quickly clear as many questions as we can before we move on to the next presentation. This is from Suraj J. Thank you, Suraj. And you have a question about: are the bundles predetermined? Do they go only in one package, or can they be reconfigured for package efficiency? Oh, very cheap. Okay, what does the team say about this?
I can take that answer. I can't answer for P&G, but I think P&G is looking at the latter, whereby they can do a repackaging. For me, in terms of MIRXES, the bundles are predetermined. So because it's medical devices and IVD, we need to go through design control. So changing form, fit, and function of IVDs is a very controlled process. So in my case, it is predefined. In the case of P&G, I'm pretty sure after listening to them on the same call earlier on, I think theirs is a little bit more flexible. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Jeremiah. Okay, up next from Flo. Flo Ang says, what is the technology maturity level of the solution you're looking at? Is it from scratch, or can we build on existing lines, I believe? Yeah.
I think what we are looking at, we are more looking at translational, not the typical research. When we look into the technology readiness level, I would say that's almost ready to go. That's why if you're almost ready, or you have something that is for trial, we are willing to explore, but not just only a concept, or you need to build from ground. In this type of challenge that we are looking at is actually if we can help the startups to package your capabilities together into a solution, that's what we want to do. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, thank you, Andy. Okay, let's finish up with questions from Jose and Vera. Okay, Jose has two questions in line. I hope you can answer them quickly. First is, so can we suggest array-based comparative phenomic hybridization for applications in cancer? Okay, Jeremiah, please help me with this.
No, that's way beyond my capability. After all, I am the manufacturing guy only, and I only have a bachelor's degree in biomedical science. So I think I would defer that question to my R&D team, who are the experts. I think at the end of the day, what I can answer well for that question is that when a company considers the type of technology or the products that we want to build, we look more than just the availability of technology capabilities and all this. It's all about also, is there a market need? Which market are we targeting? Turnaround time, and of course, translational capability into an actual product or solution. Because let's face it, post-pandemic, we are looking at diagnostic solutions that are quick and cheap. So if, let's say, when we are looking at what Jose has suggested, if this becomes something that is translatable into a product over a quick turnaround time, and it solves a larger market issue, that's something that's worth investing in as well. So that's my very short answer to that question. But in terms of the technicalities, I can't advise further. I apologize for that.
Thank you, Jeremiah. And Jeremiah, I'll invite you to actually type in the answer for Jose's the next question on the use of metaverse. I suspect it may not be directly relevant to this particular challenge. Maybe you can type an answer as well.
I think it now, yeah.
So we have one final question. Yeah. Thank you, Jeremiah. So one final question from Vera, and Vera asked a very, very practical question. Okay? Can we visit the current picking and packaging site and observe the process? What does the team say?
I think we have a process of bringing the participants into a workshop, but I'm not so sure if this one is possible, because sometimes it's very P&C in the sense, you see, this commercial confidentiality in the sense. So I would say that for this challenge, when the problem is being put up, the problem statement owner like Jeremiah from MIRXES and someone from P&G will actually walk through a workshop that you understand the type of capabilities that they need. Yeah, I cannot guarantee anything in this space. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Andy. But I suppose when the companies have been picked to be the finalists and the actual winners, right, there'll be special processes to help them acclimatize to the actual working environment. So I think there'll be opportunity for that as well. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Sorry, Jose, I think your questions are too technical for us for this particular topic, but we're going to move on to the next topic. So I welcome more questions from you later on.